material presented in this webinar and recording is for educational and informational purposes only and not for the purpose of providing legal or financial advice. This information should not substitute for the advice of competent legal counsel or a financial advisor.
Okay, folks, great. I'm glad everybody can make the call this evening. Tonight I have once again Sabrina Allen on my webinar, and it's always awesome to have her. Sabrina, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. I'm really looking forward to this. I have reviewed with you over the past few minutes some of the material that we're going to go over, and it's some of the problem issues that I've been dealing with. Enjoy your fresh viewpoints on some of these techniques that I'm guilty of messing up, and I get anxious and I get really excited when I come towards an exit on a note, and this is what I really need to brush up on. So I think you're going to bring a lot of value to this call this evening regarding some of the do's and don'ts that we get caught doing. So let's start with short sales and some of the techniques that you've been applying. I know that you've had some recent success, and obviously we're in a changing market right now where short sales are still happening. And just give me some overview on some of your short sales stuff that you were discussing before.
One thing that I have run across recently is, a borrower will put their house on the market for sale, and they will contact you even before they do so and say, will you approve a short sale? And most of us say yes if we can have control of the deal. We'll tell them yes. Well, really, to me, that's the wrong answer. The response should be, it's your property. You have the right to sell your property at any given time. And when you have an offer, you can come to us and we'll review that offer to see if it's appropriate to release our lien or to release you from the debt, which are two separate things. You can allow them to sell their property. You can do a release and still hold them responsible for the note. And a lot of people are saying, what is she talking about? Yeah. Well, what I'm talking about is at the time they come to you with an offer, what information do you have other than a preliminary HUD or a written offer from a realtor about the whole picture for your borrower? You don't have one unless you request information.
Okay, so you just don't really get real excited and say, okay, great, let's sell the house, boom, 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 and that's what I do.
Right. Right. No, that is a no-no.
Okay.
Get your ruler out, Mike, because I think you're going to have to get a spanking today.
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why you're here, and I think that's why our listeners are here, too, because this is where I just get so, pumped, and I'm like, okay, great, okay, let's do this deal, let's get paid, and let's move on to the next one. So what you're recommending is I'm making a big mistake there.
Correct, because you're missing so many diamonds in the rough when you just tell them yes up front before you've done any due diligence on why is this borrower selling this property. So what you do is you do the same thing you would maybe do for a loan mod. You request their financials. You request their bank statements. You request their current pay stubs. You request any secondary income they have, and also do a request of anyone living in the home, because there may be other income in that residence, which is key, that if they have been 2 months, 2 years behind and not making a monthly payment to you, that's a problem. Yeah. And also request their W-2s and request that they execute a 4506T, so you make sure that they're giving you the entire picture.
Wow.
If you guys think about this, if you submit a short sale to a bank, sometimes they don't even get responded to. Sometimes they take forever. Why are they taking forever? Because they're doing their homework on that borrower before they give an answer. So you are now the bank. You are now in control. And this isn't about, I need to pay my bills at the end of the month as the note buyer or the note investor. This is about making yourself and putting yourself in a position for longevity to be in this business. It's not what we're going to make today. We may not get it in 2 weeks because we've requested this information, but a little bit of time may pay off on the long run.
Yeah. Wow.
So what do I see when I get these financials?
Yeah. So first of all, let's back up a step. And how's the conversation with the borrower, if I could? Like, okay, so they contact you. They say, listen, they're putting the house up for sale. What is pretty much your lingo at that point with them? Like, not so
then
fast.
I go into interview mode.
Okay.
It's not even not so fast. It's like that is great. You are putting your house on the market. Is it occupied or not occupied? Is it a rental or is it your primary residence? What's the reason that you're putting the house on the market now? Are you moving? Did you get another job? Why are you deciding to put the property on the market now?
Mm.
And this conversation sometimes can turn this short sale into a loan that they start paying, or it still works as a short sale. So you're addressing the ability to do an exit, and what exit are you going to go through? Sometimes the borrower, this is just an icebreaker. Can I sell my home? I owe more than it's worth. I don't know what else to do other than sell it because I can't pay you all your money.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
I've had a couple where they started out with the idea of selling their home, and by the time we finished the discussion, I ended up with a deed in lieu. Is that a possibility still? Yeah.
Yes, that is a possibility. So it's just one of those things of fact-finding information. And, and sometimes if they get on the defensive, they don't want to give you that information, that's fine. You don't have to. You haven't paid in 3 years. What's a few more months? Especially if you've already started foreclosure.
Excellent.
But your defense to that is that, if they don't want to give it, well, why don't you want to give it? Well, because you guys don't come off as professional. If you like, I'll send you the loan documents. I'll send you your note. I'll send you your mortgage. I'll send you the allonge. I'll send you the assignments. I'll send you everything that's in my possession to show you that I'm entitled to request this information from you. You're requesting for me to do something for you. You're wanting me to provide you with a discount on your loan balance, on a legal document that you executed and you promised to pay. And for whatever the circumstances are, you are not in a position to make payments anymore. So they tell you. That's the lingo. That's the direction you take with the homeowner. And it's not about being belittling or degrading to them. It's having an open conversation with them so you're on the same page and you understand where they are and they understand where you are.
Excellent. So you're not being in a pushy position, but you're maintaining your position as I'm the bank.
Right.
And you don't give up the powerful position that we as note owners have.
That is correct.
Excellent. Okay, so what then?
Then you provide them with a physical address, an email address, or a fax number to get those documents over to you. Then you tell them that it could take, anywhere from 7 to 20 days to review those documents depending on how much information they send in. Still giving them permission that they have the right to put their property on the market, to entertain offers, to be able to sell it. You're not telling them no. You're just not giving them a free and clear exit about they don't owe you any more money after they sell their property.
I see. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, these are hard conversations that is an acquired ability. And, you want to cover all these things in a call, but then you hang up the phone, myself included, and 15 minutes later, I look back and I said, man, I wish I would have thought of this. Man, I wish I would have thought of that. So do you, when you're working these things out, do you give yourself a little checklist and some type of a or is it just so ingrained into your head now that you automatically do it?
Well, there's a couple of things. I've been forced by people that I'm kind of consulting to try to put this stuff to paper because, yes, a lot of it is in my head, and I can switch gears with the borrower. I can be as sweet as pie. I can be mean as a witch. It just all depends on what's on the other end of the phone and how long I've been dealing with them. So I know how to shift gears.
Yeah.
Where when you don't have the experience that I have, that engaging with the borrower, sometimes as you listen to these calls that you do, that you may have me on, it is good, it is wise to create a checklist and have that, have a binder by your phone and make tabs on if this is a short sale, if this is a settlement, if this is, just the borrower's first time calling.
Yeah.
Have those tabs that you can a quick reference sheet, or if it's on your iPhone or on your computer, but some type of reference sheet on the do's and the don'ts. I'm not saying that you need a script, but you do need some bullets to point out some subjects you need to address with the borrower on the phone.
Great. Excellent. So what else did you want to discuss with us regarding these short sale techniques, as far as really to maximize the capital?
Well, when you get the document, sometimes you are just blown away by some of the things you find out about the borrowers. And they're requesting for you to take a short sale, and they have $30,000, $40,000 sitting in the bank on their bank statements. Or you look at their pay stubs, and they've been investing money in their 401k, maximizing their investment in their 401k, and they haven't paid you in years. You have to call them on the carpet about that. Very hard conversation to have with the borrower. But it depends on your delivery. So you look at this and you see that they have a 401k. If they've been investing $1,000 a month for the last 12 months, you can at least know that they have $12,000 put up. But then you look at how long have they been on their job. They can have quite a bit of money put up. So it changes your position on, am I going to just let them give me a couple $1,000s and walk away? It's not about what you pay for the note. That is none of their business. And a lot of them will say, well, you bought this for at a discount. What was paid for the loan is not up for discussion, and it is none of your concern. What is your concern is we are the bank, and it is your responsibility to pay back your original agreement as you agreed. And if you're wanting me to take a discount, we need to look at this in a different way based off of your financials.
Great. Yeah, I'm guilty. Now, I have the software that I've used when I was contacting the borrower, even though the notes were at another servicing company. I did have a column on my spreadsheet of all the notes that I bought with a purchase price. Mm-hmm. I hit delete after the first time I talked to you. I was just like, goodbye. I'm not even going to look at that number. It's a bad thing, because the good thing about this business is the amount of discount we can buy with these things. Buy them and lose that column. You can go back and gloat about it later. You can go back and be happy and say, yeah, I bought it for $12,000 and we cashed it out at full price. There's plenty of time for that later. And it's not while you're on the phone with the borrower and you're sitting there saying that you just hit a triple play.
You'll listen to them, and you'll listen to their sob story, and then when you get a picture in front of you about how they're spending their money, and you're looking at their bank statement, and you're seeing that they're going out to eat, spending $150 a week to go out to eat, but they haven't paid you, and maybe your mortgage payment was only $300 a month. It changes the way you're looking at this borrower and the ability to be responsible. So at the 11th hour, they have an offer on their property, and they get an attitude. Are you going to take it or not? Your response is, we will gladly release we'll release the mortgage, but we will not release you from the note. It is an obligation, and we are going to enforce the note that we have for the remaining balance after you sell your property? Would you like to set up a payment plan on the remaining balance of your loan? Or you tell them, well, you can borrow money from your 401k. You're allowed to because you're delinquent on your mortgage. If you've given them a demand, that letter is sufficient enough that information to take to their 401k plan to get money out to pay you. And then they can pay themselves back. They can take a loan out on their 401k. They don't even have to take an advance. Borrow from your 401k. Pay yourself back.
Yeah.
With interest.
I guess so that would be like a hardship case.
That would be a hardship case. That is correct.
Gotcha.
Where maybe you don't want to get all of your money, but you still have to put them to the fire based off of their behavior on what they've done with their loan.
Very good. So, I guess, folks, when there's just so much money on the table, I've like I said before, I'm guilty of it. I take my money and I run, and I don't do any more digging. I don't pursue it anymore. And so I guess, Sabrina, you want to wrap that up with just like what's one thing that we can just remember so that we don't, because I'm looking back at all the deals that I've closed, and I thought that I was a huge win for me. And now, you're making me feel bad here. So with that, what's one thing that you can put into my mind so that it won't happen again? Like, I don't know.
I want to put in your mind that you are living very comfortable in the note business. You probably don't have a lot of needs. You have a lot of wants. Sometimes that borrower on the other end is living much better than you. Some of them are sitting in million-dollar houses, and they took advantage of the market when they were able to get all of these loans. Some of these loans were first payment defaults. Some of them stopped paying just because they didn't feel like they had to pay anymore. But I want you to think about that borrower who's sitting in a million-dollar home, and you're taking a discount on your loan because you haven't done your due diligence. And that is a fact.
So
and I bet you.
So you beat me up on I didn't do my due diligence. I love it. That's perfect. No, because that will stick in my head. And you're absolutely right.
And I was going to say, and I bet you after I said that to you, you'll think about, do I need their financials before I take this $20,000 from this loan?
Great. Excellent. So the second part of this call is don't sell yourself short. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, sometimes when you're foreclosing, whether you're foreclosing in first position or second position, you will sometimes have a borrower contact you in desperation. Will you take a settlement on my account? Please, please, please take a settlement on my account. And you'll have a balance, a UPB of $220,000. And they'll come in strong. They'll come in with an offer, $100,000 settlement offer. And you're like, man, I only paid $15,000 for this loan. Yeah, I'm going to take it. But what haven't you done? You haven't requested any financials. You haven't requested why haven't they paid their mortgage in 5 years. You just, oh, that's good enough. I'm not going to waste any energy on this. I'm going to take it. Selling yourself short.
Yes.
Again. You need to request their financials. And normally when you have somebody coming into the table with that kind of money, what are they saying? Well, why do I have to give you my financials? It's none of your business. I'm offering you $100,000.
Okay.
But your loan balance is $200,000. And you haven't made your mortgage payment in over 3 years. You're past due $76,000, plus late fees and interest. So I think I have a right to review your financials before I make a business decision to forgive you for the rest of your loan.
I like it, and I promise I'm writing this onto my whiteboard that sits over my desk here, that this will not happen again, and I will not sell myself short. And it's a thing that we've all probably done, and if you're new to the note business, this is the time to learn this. and let it stick in your head now so that you won't leave money on the table. It's perfect. I mean, I've always come from a position of our job buying discounted notes is to pass the discount on to the borrower. But as you grow and you learn, you get older and wiser, I guess, you start to realize that, hey, like you said, these people may be living in a higher lifestyle, and they're taking advantage of the system or taking advantage of you. So at least know who you're up against by getting the financial statements and actually being able to review these. I know that you told me you wanted to keep this short and sweet, Sabrina. I really appreciate you coming on here today. And your new event is Tips from the Trenches. Your scheduled date is May 23rd, 24th, and 25th in San Francisco. Can you give me a rundown, Sabrina, of what's going to happen on those 3 days?
There's a couple of things that's going to happen that's maybe a little bit different than events that you all have been to. One is on the 23rd, which is in the evening on a Friday night. We're going to have like a reception, meet and greet, and intermingle with our clients that show up for the event and just see what their wants and their needs are, so we can kind of address that, because with the experience that Susie and I have, we're able to adjust our agenda a little bit where it doesn't have to be written in stone, to address the needs and the wants of our students that are going to be there.
Okay.
That's what the 23rd is going to be of that night. Then the following morning from, I don't know if it's 8 to 9 or 9 to 10, our first hour is free. Just to give an overview of what the note buying business is for maybe any realtors, any local investors who really don't want to spend the money for our course. And that's fine. We'll give you an hour for free. You can come assess us. If you like us, you'll stay. If you don't, that's fine, no obligation. Or it may be one of those things where you don't feel comfortable just yet, and you might reach out to us at a later time. But from 10 o'clock Saturday until Sunday, we are going to roll up our sleeves, and we're going to really drill down follow-ups, bloops, and blunders of the note business. Once you actually have acquired a loan, we're going to cover legal documents that you look at that you need to review when you're in the process of foreclosure. We'll go through some case studies on events live deals that we've actually had experience in, and then just addressing the day-to-day operations on things to keep you compliant. And you guys know I'm really big on compliance, and keeping yourself protected where you don't get sued, and giving some suggestions on strategies, on deals, and showing you how to be successful in this business to make it a win for you, to keep you around for 20 years and survive. So surviving is the key in the note business.
Nice.
This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is if you play your cards right, if you're smart, if you're faithful, and you do your due diligence, you will survive in the trenches of note buying and asset management.
Great. So this is not an event so much for beginners as much as people that are just about to pull the trigger on purchasing some notes, or have already just purchased some notes, or have notes and they've held them for maybe 6 months or a year, and now they're realizing that, hey, this isn't so easy. You don't just buy it and wait for the money to come in. This is, like you said, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-rich-slowly business, and
correct.
It's not easy. Go ahead.
We will address all aspects of the note business, and we will try to keep it at a pace where we keep everyone happy. And there will be two of us there, and we haven't decided to split, but there may be some things that we split in order to address the more sophisticated note buyer versus some of the new people that we have in the room. And we will have some special guests, and he's going to kill me, but Gordon Moss will be there to assist in any way that he can assist with, and Donna Lefevers, who also works for Susie and myself. So we will have some support in the room to help on a one-on-one basis if necessary.
Why would I kill you?
No, I meant Gordon Moss might kill us. Because I just publicly announced that he was going to be there.
Oh, I thought you meant maybe Gordon Moss. By the way, is a very good friend of mine, and him and I were at I don't know if you know this, Sabrina. Him and I were at an event back in 2009, I think, in Manhattan, and he was telling me how great mortgages were and buying first mortgages, and I said. The event was over, and I said, come on, I'm taking you out for a beer. And I took him out, and I sat him down. I said, you think first mortgages are good? Let me tell you about junior liens. And so he picked up on my junior lien thing, and we were conversing for about 3 years after that about the business. And so he fell in love with seconds. And so, yeah, he is a great guy, a great authority in the business, and he's been doing real well for himself. And it's good to hear that he'll be at this event to, to just get involved. That's great.
Mm-hmm. So, Gordon, please don't kill me that I announced you were going to be at the event. But and it's also about networking and supporting each other in the network. And those are the people that stay around for a long time. You can't do it all by yourself, and no matter how long you've been doing this, you always have to open your mind to new ideas and to new strategies and to new techniques. And those are the things that will keep you in the business, and it will help you survive.
And to new people, Sabrina. I've kind of built this business up around all the smart people that I got to hang out with. You and Gordon Moss and a bunch of other people that are much smarter than I am, and I keep these people close to me because I sometimes need answers. And who better to lean on than people that have gone through this already? The amount of knowledge that you bring to people, you just can't put that down on a piece of paper and say, here, run with this. This is a hands-on kind of business, and I think the service that you provide, you and Susie both have tons of experience on the number of loans that you've looked at and worked on and successfully exited is just very, it's a very unique quality that you guys have been able to acquire, and that's awesome. So, it's a pleasure to hang out with you on this stuff, and I wish you all the success at your event. That's May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. You can go to tipsfromthetrenches.net. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if you put in NOTECO, which stands for abbreviation for Note Conference, if you put in NOTECO 2014 when you're signing up for this event, you'll receive a nice discount that Sabrina was nice enough to put in there so that you don't have to pay full price. And Sabrina, thanks again. I really enjoy having you on the calls, and I appreciate all the knowledge that you're sharing with my group, and I wish you much success.
Thank you very much, Mike, and I'm sure we will talk soon.
Very good. Very good, folks. Thank you, and have a great